So we got Snare. If he does something crazy, he's probably going to play Yawgmoth. Because that's what... If you see this land, pretty much they're on Yawgmoth almost. Almost always now. Not always, but there's a large, big chance they are. Okay. Yes, bring on. So I got all swamps, so... Oh, okay, we're playing Lithoform Blight. Okay. Yeah, we'll just go counter that. It like allows me to tap for any color mana, but I lose life based on it. So we're gonna play land, play Kato, make a dude. There's a possibility this is the wrong play, and I probably should just hold up Snare in this, but we're gonna play Kato, make a dude, and draw 2 cards for the rest of the game, hopefully. So this is Kato's one of those cards that if you draw 2 or 3 cards, you've won the game. 1, because you've done damage. 2, you just the amount of card advantage you've gotten over 3 turns is just it's too much, you know. So the worst thing for them, or best thing for them, is to remove the token, and we'll just kind of have a Kato there chilling. But she does protect herself by phasing, so, and you know, this is kind of the a draw engine for control shells. I don't recommend it for aggro or tempo shells. It's too slow, doesn't do enough. But if you're in a slower shell that you don't mind the incremental card advantage and the incremental grind, and you actually welcome it a little bit, like I do, Kato is right where you need to be. So he phases, or she phases, and we'll go from there. He'll probably take the fencing, more likely, unless he has like a... He'll take the snare if he has a 2 drop. So. Alright. Play that. Okay, so he took the fencing, which is cool because we got an edict, so we're drawing 2 cards a turn. We're good. So we're really happy here for the counterspell. So really don't care what he's done. What's this do? Target creature fights. Oh, so he's playing like these weird lands. I wonder if he's playing like with Nykthos. Oh, he's playing like big mana. Okay. Devotion to that color. Well, Nykthos does nothing right now. So. Oh, this is huge in Pioneer. For sure. Not too worried about here. So he's Profane Tutor. Sure. So he does know he has to play around this. So we don't feel bad at all right now, so we're gonna keep drawing cards. Like I said, if you draw 3 or 4 cards with Kato, you're sitting golden. guy is playing super slow. Alright. Then we play land. We attack. So if he draws a card, we'll play Mastermind. We have a lot of options here. So, and if you guys have never seen a GOTO ult, it wins games too. So we're not playing the super dense deck, but it does matter. So let's see what we got here. We have to worry about the Phyrexian Obliterator. I think I just edicted it, actually. This card is so good. So I think we're happy with just edicting this and getting away, yeah. So then we'll play Faerie Mastermind. This is really a blowout right here. So that's the bad thing about yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Cool. Draw a card. So go ahead and Blossom. So him getting the reason why we don't care about the tutor now. There's nothing the tutor can go get, like, unless he's going to get a Cavern of Souls. But then I can just kill it with Drown Block. We get plenty, so I'm just gonna let the tutor go and happen. He'll just be able to get whatever he wants. But I have 2 counter spells in my hand and a spell snare, so plus a active Bitter Blossom going, or drawing 2 cards per turn. We are sitting in a pretty good spot. So, and then counter something this, and so we're cool with it. Okay, he went and got Coffers. It's fine. And I kind of wanted to see what he's going to go get, too. Because he can make, what, for 2? He can make 7 mana now. Fine with me. Yep. And we'll just go ahead and... we'll just go ahead and counter that. So he'll go down to 12. So he plays another tutor. I don't know if we can let the second one go off, though. And hopefully we just draw into more counterspell. So he'll go down to 12. We'll draw 2 more cards. And then, even if he gets one of these down, like we can bounce it eventually. We can do a bunch of stuff. I can even add to the board. I can add more ninjas to the board. So I could draw if I want, which I may draw. Cool. Yep. So we got that. So we got Fairy Fencing, Edict, another Drown. We effectively have 2 counters in our hand. I may even play the counter spell and then Snapcaster counter spell again, and then so we have 3 counters now. I can counterspell, snap counterspell, and then spell snare. Dealing 4 damage next turn. So the ultimate here is going to be overkill, but so I don't know why the Nykthos is in here. I mean, I guess I get like, oh, he's playing Demigod of Revenge. When you cast a spell, return all cards named from your graveyard to the battlefield. So the thing is with this card, you let this ability resolve before you counter it. Because if you counter it and then the ability resolves, he actually gets a free one. So, and this came out in like Shadowmoor or something like that. So you do that, and then you... So, just a little teensy bit, the piece of knowledge about Demigod of Revenge. Cool card. It's like a 5/4 flyer. Yeah, flyer haste. Yeah, it was good in standard back in the day. So I'm going to choose not to give him more card advantage. He's playing big stuff, so the last thing you want to do is give them more mana when I have things I can combat the things he's doing in his hand. So we'll do that, and then this is just slow. But I get beats next turn because I can attack for 8. I can attack for lethal next turn, so we're cool. So I think we'll just we'll let this go off. I don't think there's anything. Well, actually, we can't let this go off. So, because if he goes and gets a Demigod and does this, he gets 4 or 5 flyers. We need to counter this. So. Oh, wait. Bad. Yep. So it makes him have to have it. And we have a bunch of stuff. He might be playing main board Damnation, but if he is, he still dies in 3 turns. It's not huge. This is the only bad thing about this. So I probably should have countered the first one. Maybe Corrupt. Deals. Okay, so he's just... Sure. We're okay with that. I mean, So, in this case... Oh, wait, we can't do that anymore. We just fire it up and throw it. He knows what's in my hand, other than that. He doesn't know this card, though. I think drawing a card at the end step is good. So we even if you Damnation's here, we have Tar Pit, so pretty happy here. Okay, so yeah, he gets 2. We're fine. We chomp. We're not worried about it. But he has... Ooh, that's gross. So he can... So he goes oh, whichever's greater, basically. He Nykthoses, so when he does this, and I wonder what he's trying to do. Like, is he just trying to put a bunch of stuff into play? Yeah, he just can't get through. So, I think he's just trying to, like, spam a bunch of stuff. So, Graveyard Hate comes in. Stuff that can kill it. These Fatal Pushes are garbage. Unmornigo can come in. We can take Demigod of Revenge out. That's good. So his stuff's on cast, so Dress Down's not that good. So Pithing Needle doesn't do anything. So I think Spell Snare goes away. What else? These are fine. They're fine. Orcish Bowmasters is probably subpar here. It just doesn't do a whole lot. He doesn't draw. I don't think he draws a bunch of cards either. So I think we're good here. Is there anything crazy that... I could take out the Duelist too, but we'll go with this. We're up a game. We can play aggressive. We can take risks. Alright, so we got land, fair fencing, it's fine. We'd like a Blossom. These Sprites are kind of stuff. Maybe I should have took out Sprite, because Sprites, probably not. Probably leave Blossom in. So we're happy here. So the thing is with Demigod of Revenge, if he goes off, he just, like, getting 2/5 5/4 flying haste, it's no joke. And then the thing is, you deal with one of them, and then all of a sudden you have two of them to deal with because he got one. He casted one, and then you have to worry about how you counter it, kind of, just similar. Like, the question is, how does he get those into the graveyard? So we have Spellsetter Sprite for the Perfect Command, so we're actually very happy in that regard. We also have Riptide Laboratory that we can just recycle the Spellsetter Sprite over and over again. So that will never change with our that'll never change. So, you know, we'll be able to keep recycling that. The fact we have two in our hands is nice too. Would prefer that to be a Bitter Blossom right now. Putting Bitter Blossom in play would basically it would give us the tempo we need to basically win the game. But having a Mastermind in play at the end of this turn isn't going to be bad either. We're happy to have a Mastermind just beating this, but it's really putting a clock on them early. That's what Bitter Blossom does. Bitter Blossom just goes wide and allows for blockers later if we ever stall. So what you'll find out is the big mana Coffers decks, they really rely on this card a lot, and they relied on this card a lot. So me allowing that to resolve last turn, it was a risk. It was a big risk, because sometimes they'll just slam it and they'll just win. So we're gonna go ahead, and we're not gonna bounce anything, so we'll play that. So we'll attack. He can only. It's not worth him making the Coffers, because he doesn't have an Urborg out. So we're not going to Blossom here. We are going to counter this. So triggered ability, and then this thing goes on the stack. So he can cast something for 3 or 4 if he can get another counter out. So he always needs that extra piece of the puzzle. Sometimes he draws it automatically, but you know, we'll see. Fairy Fencing also deals with Obliterator, Phyrexian Obliterator, quite well, because it doesn't do damage to things, so pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and grab a Water Grave here. So play the land. Yep, we're pretty happy here. Oops, nope. Go ahead and do this. We'll play Blossom because we have another Sprite in hand. Because obviously we need to counter these tutors out. He can't obliterate her. The Nykthos makes sense now, more sense than it did. The fact that if he gets an Obliterator out and has a Nykthos, he can then make 4 mana off that Nykthos, 4 black mana. That I can see why that is very important. It's almost like I want him to go get it, but but like I said, he always needs that one piece of the puzzle. These sprites are not going to allow that to happen. So yep. Attack. I really want an untapped land next turn. I would like an island or a swamp. So okay, and he just concedes. He shouldn't concede because even if he goes and gets something, I edict. I don't know. I can do so much. If he plays something, I kill it. If and then he's on a clock now. He's taking 4 a turn. So it goes to 11, goes to then 5, then goes to 6, and then I swing with Tar Pit and win. He's on a 3-turn clock with multiple kill spells underneath him, and he has 2 forests Cabal Coffers, and a Underground Tomb. He's dead. So, and he's probably not going to get that tutor. He might get that tutor off. Because if I draw land, I bounce my Spellstutter Sprite, play the Spellstutter Sprite, and he just does nothing. So, kind of obvious, you know, with the tutor decks. If you're playing stuff for no mana, you know, Spellstutter Sprite, you know, it wrecks it. So, and he's just playing that kind of deck where he wants to get ahead early, and once he gets that first big bomb, you know, it just keeps going. He makes, you know, 6 mana, 10 mana, 15 mana, and you know, he can do it quite early if he gets Cabal Coffers in it, but he has to get that one piece of the puzzle out that the Profane tutor does. You have to be very, very careful of letting that tutor go off, because he's literally going to go get the piece of the puzzle that he's missing. So he's kind of combo-y if you really want to think about it. Like he's playing the tutor for the combo kind of thing and get that last piece to the puzzle, and then he can start creating these massive amount of mana. And then the rest is just him playing big things. In the Demigod of Revenge, that stuff just feeds graveyard hate, basically. So obviously that's why we brought in the Leyline of the Void. I may have made a mistake. I may have needed to mulligan aggressively there. There's an argument for me to mulligan there, but I had enough going on with 2 Spellstutter Sprites in hand and a Fairy Mastermind to, in my mind, satisfy all the things that we need to do to be able to combat him doing things in the early game. The question was, is he going to draw the lands that he needs to put coffers on the table? And then we ended up getting a Bitter Blossom, getting 4 lands, hitting all our land drops, which obviously that tempos him out to where we win 7 turns, 8 turns. So to where he wants to get going at turn 6, turn 7. So if he's still alive.